May 9, 2019. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a quiet neighborhood in Kenosha, Wisconsin suddenly erupted into chaos. Inside a family home, 15-year-old Kay Jugger had just returned from school with her mother. Music echoed through the house. They were laughing, dancing, and going about what felt like a completely normal afternoon. But outside the home, someone had already been watching them. Security cameras would later capture a hooded figure dressed in black moving carefully through the neighborhood. The person left a bicycle near a nearby park, walked between houses, and slipped into the Jugger home through the open garage. Then came the gunshots. One. Then another. Then several more in rapid succession. 7 shots total. By the time police arrived, Kay's mother was locked inside a bathroom calling 911, convinced the shooter was still somewhere inside the house. But before hiding, she had already seen the gunman clearly. And she recognized him instantly. Her daughter's ex-boyfriend. When she begged him to stop, he looked directly at her and said, "No. I have to." Then he pulled the trigger again. What happened inside that house would eventually expose a disturbing story involving obsession, control, jealousy, and a teenage relationship that had been spiraling toward violence for months. And what shocked many people most was the age of everyone involved. The victim was only 15 years old. And so was the killer. Earlier that afternoon, Kay and her mother Stephanie had returned home from school around 2:20 p.m. Stephanie operated a photography business from home, which allowed her to spend most afternoons with her children. Family members would later describe the Jugger household as close-knit and loving. After getting home, Kay headed toward her bedroom to get ready for her part-time job while Stephanie went into the bathroom to dry her hair. Then suddenly, at exactly 3 p.m., the sound of gunfire exploded through the house. At first, Stephanie thought she was imagining it over the sound of the hairdryer. Then she heard screaming. Moments later, she ran toward her daughter's room. And standing there in the doorway was 15-year-old Martis Fuller holding a gun. Stephanie later testified that she immediately recognized him. The same teenager who had once spent holidays with their family. The same boy they had welcomed into their home. The same boy Kay had dated for nearly a year. According to Stephanie, she froze and begged him not to do it. "You don't have to do this." But his answer was immediate. "Yes, I do." Then he fired directly at her chest. Stephanie was struck multiple times but somehow managed to stumble backward into the master bedroom and lock herself inside the bathroom. From there, bleeding heavily, she made 2 calls. The first was to her husband. The second was to 911. While dispatchers tried calming her down, she kept repeating the same thing. Her daughter's ex-boyfriend had shot them. Deputies and paramedics arrived within minutes. Inside Kay's bedroom, they found Stephanie desperately trying to perform CPR on her daughter despite her own injuries. But it was already too late. Kay Jugger was pronounced dead at the scene. Medical examiners later determined she had suffered multiple gunshot wounds to the chest along with a final gunshot wound to the head. Doctors later stated that even if surgeons had been standing inside the room at the exact moment the shooting started, her injuries were too catastrophic to survive. The brutality of the attack stunned investigators immediately. But what disturbed them even more was how planned it appeared to be. Inside the home, detectives recovered shell casings scattered across Kay's bedroom floor. There were signs the shooter had stood directly over her before firing the final shot. Outside, surveillance footage began helping police piece together the timeline minute by minute. One camera showed a teenager riding a bicycle toward the neighborhood wearing a gray hoodie, white sneakers, and carrying a backpack. Another camera later captured someone dressed entirely in black moving between neighboring houses before entering the Jugger home through the garage. Just over a minute later, the gunshots began. Then, less than 4 minutes after the attack started, the same bicycle rider was seen speeding away from the area. Investigators believed the shooter had changed clothes immediately after the murder before escaping through the park. But long before police reconstructed the timeline, Kay's family already believed they knew exactly who was responsible. Because the relationship between Kay and Martis Fuller had been deteriorating for months. At first, family members actually liked him. Martis was athletic, popular at school, and appeared respectful. He played football and basketball while Kay participated in cheerleading. To outsiders, they looked like a normal teenage couple. But behind the scenes, things slowly became toxic. Friends later described Martis as deeply controlling. He constantly demanded Kay's attention. If she didn't respond quickly enough, he would repeatedly call and message her non-stop. Sometimes she would stay connected to him on video calls for hours just to avoid arguments. Over time, the behavior became more aggressive. Rumors about cheating began spreading online. Arguments became frequent. Then came a disturbing incident inside Bradford High School. According to reports, Martis cornered Kay in a hallway and demanded her phone. School staff had to physically intervene. Kay was reportedly left crying afterward. Following the incident, school officials ordered Martis to stay away from her completely. Their schedules were changed. A no-contact agreement was put in place. And administrators warned him clearly. Another violation could lead to expulsion. But according to witnesses, he ignored the order. Soon afterward, he confronted Kay again inside the school. This time, teachers witnessed everything themselves. Martis was expelled. And according to testimony later given in court, he became furious. By that point, Kay had reached her breaking point. She ended the relationship completely. But even after the breakup, the harassment continued. Friends reported seeing Martis pacing outside the Jugger home late at night. Sometimes he would stand outside staring toward Kay's bedroom window. The phone calls became constant. When Kay blocked his number, he started contacting her through friends' phones instead. Eventually, Kay became genuinely afraid. She even quit her first job because she no longer felt safe working there alone. In messages sent before her death, Kay admitted she wanted to work somewhere he wouldn't know how to find her. But prosecutors later argued it was already too late. According to investigators, Martis had become obsessed. During the week leading up to the murder, prosecutors claimed he started trying to obtain a gun. Witnesses later testified that he talked openly about wanting to kill Kay. One friend told the jury that just days before the shooting, Martis asked her to do the hit with him. She refused. But she never reported the threat. Investigators later discovered surveillance footage showing Martis watching the neighborhood before the murder. According to testimony from his cousin, he knew the family's routine. He knew Kay's father would still be at work. He knew her younger brother would still be at school. And he knew exactly when Kay and Stephanie would arrive home. Perhaps one of the most devastating moments during the trial came from Marta's own cousin, Annis Andrews. The night after the murder, Marta showed up unexpectedly at her home. At first, she didn't believe he could be involved. But after speaking with detectives and thinking about what happened to Kay, she eventually decided to tell police everything he had confessed to her. According to her testimony, Martis admitted he had watched the house before entering. He allegedly said his original plan had been to shoot Kay once or twice. But once inside the home, panic took over. Her testimony became one of the strongest pieces of evidence in the entire case because many of the details she described had not yet been released publicly. And later, surveillance footage matched her account almost perfectly. During trial, prosecutors argued the case was overwhelming. They presented phone records, surveillance footage, witness testimony, forensic evidence, and statements from multiple people who claimed Martis talked about killing Kay before it happened. The defense attempted arguing that Stephanie may have mistakenly identified the shooter during the chaos of the attack. They also questioned whether the timeline was physically possible. But prosecutors pushed back hard. According to them, every second lined up. Every movement fit. And the evidence pointed in only one direction. Then came the verdict. After only a few hours of deliberation, the jury found Martis Fuller guilty of first-degree intentional homicide and attempted homicide. Inside the courtroom, emotions finally overwhelmed him. The teenager who had remained mostly expressionless throughout the trial suddenly broke down crying after realizing he would likely spend the rest of his life in prison. Later, during sentencing, Martis maintained his innocence while apologizing for Kay's death. The judge was not convinced. Calling him dangerous and deeply damaged, the court sentenced him to life in prison without parole. Today, Martis Fuller remains incarcerated at Green Bay Correctional Institution. But for Kay's family, no sentence could undo what happened that afternoon in May of 2019. Years later, her mother still speaks publicly about the pain of losing her daughter. The birthdays missed. The future stolen. The milestones Kay never got the chance to experience. And perhaps that is what makes this case so haunting. Not just the violence. Not just the obsession. But how young everyone was. A 15-year-old girl lost her life inside the place she should have been safest. And another 15-year-old destroyed his own future chasing control he could not let go of. Even now, years later, one question still lingers over the entire case. How many warning signs does it take before obsession turns deadly?